Dear Harstem, I'm having a huge time seeing how to deal with lurkers. They are stealthy, long range, dirty, bush dwelling pests, and nothing I do seems to counter them. They seemingly outrange all ground units, and since they're always accompanied by hydras, any air units I manage to fart out get ruined before I can get a decent count. Clearly, I am not the problem, as I have literally perfect macro. I am a macro god. That's why I have achieved the pinnacle of Platinum League. So is it Imba? Obviously. Or do I suck? Impossible. I am a god. Cheers, Jack. Send from mail for Windows 10. I don't know why, but for some reason that makes me smile. If you're too dumb to remove the send from Windows from Windows email 10, I feel like it's gonna be hard to take you seriously. But quick note to my editor: the name Jack the Funk is gonna turn into either macro god or literal macro god. You can have your decision there. And then we can continue into this game. So first claim, well, the only claim really he makes about his own play is that he's a literal macro god. We're of course gonna have a look at it. What the hell is this? Oh, this is pig. Nice, beautiful. Let's have a look. All right, let's see what this fella is doing. He's a decent. He's diamond 3. Diamond 3. I say this because people in the YouTube comments are always very mean to everyone. I'm gold 3. I'm better than this. No, you're not. No, you're not. Alright, Stargate coming down. Pretty standard timing, perhaps a bit late. You can see a second adept. Warp gate on the way. Yeah, it's all looking okay. I don't mind this build order so far. This is looking pretty tight. Now, from the Zerg perspective, just standard Ling openers. This is what I call a flat wall. Now, the problem with flat walls is actually a pretty big one, because you need two structures, especially if your pylon is placed over here, to wall this little place. You need a pylon here and a pylon here. That's why you always want to stagger the wall. Is that what you call it? Make it like a stairs. You know, you want to be able to have like a bit of a dent. So put this gateway 1 block to the right, or put this one to the right. That way it's very easy to wall with a single building. Helps a lot. Now, Phoenix first. A little bit of chrono boost not being used. A little bit of probes not being created, but all of these things, you know, we can live with. I don't care too much about them. I'm not gonna complain about this kind of stuff anymore. You know, we've heard it all. We've heard, oh no, you forgot to build probes for 3 seconds, and no one cares. What the hell is this though? Oh, you forgot the third pylon. Oh, okay, so if you forget the third pylon, that's okay, but you just cancel your units. Like, it's better to not have a third adept than to have to not have any pro production for 3 minutes. Or, well, in this case, 30 seconds. Okay, bad start. He also takes his extra gases before he takes the Nexus. I'm not a fan of that. I think it sucks. He plays Phoenix Oracle, which I also think sucks. He should play at least 2 oracles before he gets any type of extra attack. Like, the difference between 1 oracle and 2 oracle is so big that it almost feels criminal to not build a second oracle. Because, listen to this. If you go from 1 oracle to 2 oracles, you increase your efficiency, or your effectiveness by 50%. Because by 100%. If first you need 1 shot, 2 shots, now you only need 1. So you increase efficiency by 100%. No, you decrease the time spent by 50%. So if first you spent 2 seconds, now you would spend 1. No, so then you increase efficiency by 100%. You see, guys, I did finish my math courses. Good. So yeah, this is why you get 2 oracles always, because it's very good. You can just pop drones really easily, and it's very nice. You don't want to be the guy with a single oracle. See, you got 0 kills. That's typical of a single oracle. Absolute loser. It's a nice animation he has there as well. Holy crap. Now, what else are we doing here, Mr. Jack the Funk? So far you haven't really been too busy, but you did get a fortune at Twilight. I like that. You're scouting this general area, so in case there's any type of night display over here, that would be very easily spotted, which I'm a big fan of, honestly. I think it's good to have this kind of stuff prepared, you know? He's just thinking about the niche attacks that his opponent can throw at him. Now, 4 adepts are gonna move across the map, and the thing you want to do with 4 adepts is usually you want to use them in unison with your oracles. So you can either clear creep, or maybe you can even try to go for some drones. But usually you split them up 2-2. But I guess this also seems to work. Another quick trick with adepts is try to move into these mineral patches, so that this kind of surround can't happen as quickly. But once again, this all seems pretty reasonable. So far, these are decent shades. We're getting some damage done with these adepts. This is what, 8 workers going down. Now, there is a classic thing here, where usually when a player below Masters 1 is doing things that isn't macro, it's usually worse than if he would have actually macroed. Now, I'd like you guys to think back of about a minute ago when these 4 bad boys shaded in, and I'm gonna assure you that he probably was at 50 workers or 49 or something like that. Probably one more worker finished up. He hasn't made a single macro action. He's floating 2k resources, and he didn't produce a single probe. So even though he killed 16 workers, even though I don't think that was all of it with just the 4 adepts. Maybe he had some before. No, wait, he didn't, because his oracle was completely useless. Yeah, so it must have been just these adepts. I still feel like his position in the game didn't improve very much, because he just kept floating money, didn't build any workers for himself. So you see, he's still down 10 workers, which is impressive. Also, getting your gases down at 7 minutes and 40 seconds is almost 2 minutes later than I usually get them, which is also impressive. So far our literal macro god is about 2 minutes behind in an 8-minute game. And that is 25%. Unless you calculate from the 6 minute to the 8, then he's down by 33%. See how it works? Percentages are a very wild thing. Did I just hear Robo Bay being queued up? Alright. I thought we were gonna have one hell of a game, but I guess not. So he's gonna get a Storm, second Robo Bay, without mining any gas on his 3rd base. I have no clue how this is gonna pan out, but I'm a fan already. I'm definitely a fan. No, the problem with getting this, yeah, throw the Dark Shrine down as well. I mean, we have plenty of gas anyway, right? Jeez. How's he gonna be able to pay for this expensive habit of just buying everything with gas? He's like the type of guy that has 7 credit cards maxed out, gets called by his bank, it's like, hey mate, you have 7 credit cards maxed out. And you reply, that's annoying, but could I get an 8th card? Because I feel like I really need that Dark Shrine right now in my life. Like, I really feel a strong connection, as I'm what I call it? A Gemini? The astrology signs. I feel like people that max out more than 7 credit cards usually are into astrology. I think you have to be a special kind of stupid. Actually, that's such a Leo thing to do. No, that's not a Leo thing to do. Stupid Geminis. Where was I? Ah, Colossus. 1400 minerals, 200 gas. He's going to be able to warp in a Dark Templar, like a single one or something. And the rest of his army is just going to be pure Zealot. So you can actually afford a lot of gas units out of special structures. The problem with that is that it just leaves you with such a big Zealot army that you're just going to die the moment your opponent has 2 or 3 Banelings. This actually is a very good army though against anything that isn't banelings, which at this level it seems like people don't really make banelings, which would explain why a lot of lower plebs, I was gonna say. Wait, what was that? You heard about stutter stepping once? Yeah, let's have another look at this stutter step move. What the hell? So, the reason why people stutter step is because you want to get in range of your opponent, or when you're chasing, or when you're running away, right? You stutter step, you shoot while running away, so you still do some damage, but you also get away from your opponent. This guy just move commanded into units that have less range. This is anti-stutter stepping. This makes sure that your opponent doesn't need to. Look at this. What was this move? It's like, oh, he can't reach the immortals on the back yet. Let me just move a bit quicker, closer. Ah, that's fantastic. That's a good move. I completely lost my train of thought. Alright, the low level dudes, because no one builds banelings. Stuff like immortals and colossi are really broken in this, usually in this league, or in this player bracket. I don't know how you want to call it. This guy's just actually just maxing roaches. I don't quite see how Jack the Funk here is gonna lose this game. But usually these guys manage to find ways that I haven't even thought of. So even just speculating would be kind of ruining part of the fun. Now, imagine there was a prism with this, right? And... what? What the hell was that? So this was what? 24 roaches maybe? Okay, it says 41, but a lot of them weren't there. I think that was 24 roaches. There was freaking 5 immortals and a colossus there. I think he could have just fought that fight. He just move commanded away, lost like 5-6 units. And I was like, okay, now that I've recalled, I can go again. That's not quite how this game works. Like, he probably could have already fought before. This is absolutely wild. Fort base goes down. I mean, that's a big roach run by. This circus expanding life is like his life depends on it though. Now going into lurkers. Kinda like it. I think that's kinda cool. You know what? I think that is kinda cool. Gets 2/2 upgrades. It's funny because Jack the Funk thinks he's a literal macro god. Meanwhile, he's been floating at least 2.5k resources consistently since minute 7. But this Zerg has actually been expanding absolutely everywhere. You know, he even has a base down here, he's trying to creep spread. He's just playing very basic units and just focusing on macroing, you know. He's getting his injects done, he has larva everywhere, he has a lot of money in the bank because he's been mining so well. He does a run by here and there, but there's nothing fancy in his playstyle. You know, it's just good old solid roach hydra, and sure, it's not the best playstyle, and sure, there's no banelings, and yeah, the creep threat could be better, but he actually has you know, it's not a bad style. It's solid. You know, he has a lot of money. He's working on his macro. I like it. I feel like the actual literal macro god here is Protoss OTP, and our boy Jack the Funk here is not doing too hot. Okay, here come the lurkers. Now, this is a key moment in our literal macro god's life. Because this is where stuff starts to go wrong for him. Or at least where he believes stuff starts to go wrong for him. In my mind, stuff has been going wrong in his life for a while. In order for him to even get to this point. Sending a replay complaining about lurkers while you're Diamond 3. And constantly floating 2k resource. Maybe he doesn't have the A move button. Like, bound it or something. Like, mate, your army's like 5 times the size. Just fight. How can one guy be this bad at judging fights? So right now he has 34 workers, our literal macro god. He's still floating 1800 minerals though. Does he not realize he can just A-move this army? He has 6 immortals. Like, I know going down ramps is not the way to go, but I think even going down this ramp, he would be able to win. He's been able to win for the past 5 minutes by just aim moving, I feel like. And instead what he does, he move commands around, loses 7 more immortals, and then decides, oh, I just lost 7 immortals, I probably can't fight this. No, it's not because your army sucks, because you keep move commanding around. This is painful to watch, honestly. I mean, this army is complete garbage at this point. There's 7 lurkers, there's 9 immortals, dude. And there's 2 colossi, there's storms available. Zerg is floating like madman as well, holy crap. No fort base on the way, 47 workers again though. No gas being mined. Our literal macro god hasn't probably looked at his base in the past 5 minutes. He's just gonna A-move across the map with a massive immortal army. No, he's not gonna A-move. If he would be A-moving across the map, he probably would just be winning. He's gonna be doing something dumber. Warps in a couple of zealots to deal with the threat of Zerglings. There's no adrenal glands yet, so Zerglings can actually be beaten at this point. Oh. Alright. Now what we do here, Jack. This is. We regroup. We get an observer with our army, if we don't yet. Okay, we do. And we make sure that our whole army is together when we attack a base, okay? And then whenever this guy comes to defend, we kill him. Another point of contention, by the way, is the complete lack of upgrades here for Jack, who's on +1. Our macro god, who has been floating money since minute 6, minute 7, who has the money for 2 extra oracles, but can't afford a +2 upgrade. Observer speed, so his observer can fly into spores faster, or into overseer ranges. I feel like he's also F2ing his life away, isn't he? Dude, just go and fight for once in your life. You can clear the rocks as well. You don't have to walk down only this ramp. You can also go through the middle, man. How is it possible that you can do absolutely nothing in a game and your army is... Lose the observer because he has overlord speed. Getting a fleet beacon on 3 bases. He actually got every single tech structure on 3 bases. He's not even mining gas. How is it even possible that his main base is not mining gas properly? And now his natural is... Oh my god. The macro god does it again. What are these DTs doing? He's actually gonna move down. He could have. I wouldn't even mind it. He really could have. Does he have blink? No, he doesn't have blink. Our literal macro god on 3 bases. With 2k minerals in the bank. How do you even get 2k minerals? He gets 1100 minerals a minute. That means... if he doesn't do anything for 2 minutes, macro-wise, that's how he gets a bank. Which, literally, you could spend 1200 minerals by like 1 warp-in cycle. 1 warp-in cycle is done within like 2 seconds. You can't even spare 2 seconds to macro. What are you doing, dude? Move command into move command. I feel like he hasn't actually fought. Look, listen to this. Immortals and Colossi are fantastic units, right? But they're mainly good at fighting. Like really. Their strength is their power in straight up engagements. Running away isn't their main strength. They're not French built. This is like investing. Imagine you're a country. Imagine you're a country. You are Belgium. Imagine you're from Belgium, and you invest as the government, you invest a lot of money into a tank. Now this tank is a great stationary tool. You can siege it up. It has crap tons of damage. It has long range. It can shoot fire missiles. It can do basically anything. It's the ultimate unit. Then when you're in a fight, you decide to just run away with all your tanks. And then the commanders go like, a boss, like this tank is, it has no speed, we have to push it, or it's being pulled by gorillas, like this is a stationary thing that does the most damage if standing still. And they're like, no, like, I feel like we should be sending these guys back, back to the capital, just to make sure. It's like, no, sir, we have a good position here. We're outsizing our opponent's army about 15 times. Really, it's just one guy on a horse. I feel like we should keep this position. But instead what you do is you run your 15 siege fire tanks back, or while they're being pulled by gorillas, they're being pulled back, while the guy on the horse with his bow and arrow is slowly but surely whittling away on him. That is kind of what this game feels like. You've had the absolute best army in the world against what he could have. Lurkers. This is the meme with the guy that puts the stick in between his wheels, He's like, fucking lurkers, man. It's like, dude, it's not the lurkers. Like, it's you. Why would you use the gorillas to run back? You have the best stationary siege tank in the world. Are we just gonna have a conversation here? This is not what I signed up for. This is the ultimate circle jerk. Two guys in Diamond 3 talking about how much lurkers are broken. I tried with DDTs. Oh no. Alright. Our literal macro world, my friend. I'm sure you meant well. The problem is, you had no macro. Honestly, everything you did was terrible. From your macro, the first 4 minutes were tight, except the supply block. You forgot your third pylon. We'll forget about that, okay? But the first 4 minutes were tight, minus the supply block. Then you went into double Robo, Immortal Colossus, Storm, Dark Templar, Stargate, Fleet Beak. You had everything. Like, just try to go with a unit composition and stick with it. We have a unit composition called Charge Immortal Archon. This unit composition is absolute king, my friend. Like, they beat everything on the ground. We can storm, we can run in with Immortals, we can A-move. It's like a little party just by itself. And here you are with your 17 different tech structures. No, man. We run by with Zealots and we just kill the rest of their army with Immortal Charge Archon. That's the way it is. That's the way it's gonna be. Even if we don't think about your army composition, but we just look at how good your army was and how you handled that army. Like, the amount of... It started with the move command into the roaches. Like, you won that fight, but it still made me angry. Then you had a move command away into a recall from 20 roaches, while you had 6 immortals with +1. You stopped upgrades completely. The one thing you should have been investing your gas in is definitely upgrades. You tried getting a fort base once. After it got cancelled once, like, well, never mind. It's not possible, guys. Like, I actually can't do it. It's too much for me. This is the kind of people that attempt to go, not even I was gonna say a marathon. I was gonna be nice to you, but taking a fort base is not like a marathon. Taking a fort base is more like going for a 5k run. The first run you're gonna do. And there's these people, they go like, all right, I'm gonna go on a run, and then they can't find their shoes. And it's like, I can't find my shoes. Like, how am I gonna go on a run? No shoes, I can't run. It's just logic. They call their husband or their wife, and they go like, no shoes, no run. The husband's enabler, of course, an enabler goes like, yeah, no shoes, can't run. Right? Back on the couch, just like that. No running for you. That's what you did with the fort base. I'm not sure who your enabler is. Maybe you should, visit a therapist for that. Couple counseling might be useful there, but yeah, it's rough, man. I can't remember where I was going with this. To cut things short, really, terrible unit composition, terrible unit movement, no micro, negative decision making, negative IQ decision making. I have to say, and then at the end you complain, which shows a weak mindset, a bad brain, and just poor personality trait in general. We can zip it up here, boys. You suck. You suck very, very hard. All right. Thanks everyone for watching to this amazing episode of Is It Imba or Do It? So if you did enjoy, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you didn't like it, then follow me on Twitter because I do very different stuff there. I also have more videos like this, which are over there and over there. And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.